Welcome to Parenting Kids and Dogs 101, a limited series podcast for parents who live with kids and dogs, or plan to. I'm your host, Michelle Stern, the founder of Pooch Parenting. I'm not just a certified professional dog trainer and former teacher, I'm a mom too. In each episode of this series, I hope you feel like I'm chatting with you, one parent to another, about life with kids and dogs, answering common questions my clients ask me, and giving you simple solutions to make your life easier and safer. I hope you'll subscribe and join me for the whole series. And don't forget to grab the accompanying workbook at poochparenting.net/podcast workbook. Enjoy! In episode 13, we're going to talk about what jealousy looks like in dogs. This comes up a lot when I work with clients who are pregnant or adopting a baby because they're very worried about how their dogs will react to new baby, and jealousy is a common concern. But before we dive into how to deal with jealousy, let's talk a little bit about whether or not dogs can actually get jealous. Now, it's hard to say for sure because we can't get fully into the mind of a dog, but scientists do believe that dogs can get jealous, and they can identify certain emotions in dogs with some super cool studies that are being done at Duke University with dogs that are trained to voluntarily go inside of an MRI machine, and they bring up different kinds of images, and the dog's brain lights up. And similar sections of the dog brain lights up with dogs as in humans when they are experiencing human jealousy. Dr. Mark Bekoff talks a bit about this, and he absolutely believes that dogs can get jealous. So we're going to continue with this episode with the assumption that yes, dogs can be jealous, and these kinds of emotions often come up when they're used to being the main apple of your eye, and then you have children, and some of your attention now has to be shared. Let's start by talking about what jealousy can look like in a dog. So first we need to realize that every dog is unique and they all communicate somewhat differently, although there do tend to be some pretty consistent patterns across dogs. Jealousy is how a dog likely feels, and they can demonstrate this by showing a variety of behaviors, such as pawing, barking, licking excessively, hovering, getting into your space, inserting their bodies between you and another person or dog, or possibly by demonstrating destructive behaviors, such as chewing inappropriate items like your shoes, especially if they haven't really been naughty before. Now, it's likely that you want to be able to prevent dog jealousy around your kids or your baby. And in order to begin to prevent something, we really need to know what it looks like, be able to clearly identify it, and then start to really consider if our dog's needs are being met. Because it's most likely that your dog is demonstrating these kinds of behaviors because they feel that they're missing out on something, such as your attention. Or maybe they're not getting out as often as they used to because you're spending a lot of time on your kids, which is totally normal. So I would encourage you to provide your dog with a lot of enrichment opportunities, such as the ability to go out and chew things, sniff, dig, exercise, etc. And if you can, give your dog some focused attention, such as when your kids are at school or when they're asleep. If you like what you're hearing so far, don't forget to grab the free workbook that comes with this limited podcast series. All you need to do is head over to my website, poochparenting.net/podcast workbook. By offering your dog some focused attention and special one-on-one snuggle time, if that's what they like, oftentimes that's enough for them and they feel that they're being seen again. And so some of these jealous behaviors tend to stop. Now, you might be wondering what to do about it if your dog is pawing or jumping on you or barking at you because they want your attention. So I would ask you to consider to see if there's an alternate behavior that you can ask your dog to do. So for example, if they're jumping on you, can you ask them to lay on a mat instead? Or if they're pawing you, can you ask them to do a spin or a twist so that they have something less harmful to do with their feet? It probably comes as no surprise that I'm going to recommend using management equipment such as gates or pens to limit where your dog can go if you're doing something sensitive with your child, such as changing a diaper on the floor or doing arts and crafts with the kids. Because the last thing you want is for your dog to come in, destroy what you're doing, get in the way, get covered in paint, or yikes, steal a dirty diaper while you're in the process of changing. You can also set up predictable routines for your dog so that they know what to expect and can worry less. Quite often, dogs really thrive when they know what the day and the routine is going to look like, and they can feel quite unsettled when things are changing a lot. So by setting up consistent routines, your dog can feel more prepared. Now, if your dog is displaying his jealousy by demonstrating naughty behaviors, it's really especially important that you never leave your dog and child alone. So what does that look like? Well, even if you're in the same room with your dog and child while you're cooking, folding laundry, checking email, or scrolling through social media on your phone, you're not actually fully paying attention. So being, quote, there isn't the same as really being physically present and supervising. So your body being in the same room is not enough to keep your child safe or to prevent your dog from making a mistake. Now, if your dog is frustrated or acting out, you can't let your guard down even for a moment, because you might feel like you might be able to just leave for a second to go pee, but if you're not there, you are not able to keep everybody safe. And lastly, if it's impossible for you to give your dog some focused attention, it is okay to ask for help. Can you hire a dog walker or have a neighbor take your dog on outings? All of these in combination can help give your dog some dedicated, focused attention. You're setting everybody up for success, and you will hopefully see a reduction in behaviors that look like a display of jealousy. Hope you found this helpful. It's only natural for questions about our kids and dogs to arise from time to time, especially as our babies grow up and our dogs mature. And if I'm being honest, it's not really worth asking for free advice from friends or even online, because you can't rely on the accuracy of the feedback you're getting. If you'd like to learn more about the Pooch Parenting Society, where I offer practical life and science-based tips and strategies, ongoing support, and a safe place to share, head on over to safekidsanddogs.com. From one parent to another, I see you, and I promise that you're not alone. Thanks for listening.